think we're okay. Think. Let's see. Not horrible. All right. So this is the 2002 CNNP Xishuangbanna Purple Tea Tree Raw Pu-erh, and the smell on this is really nice. The very typical aged Pu-erh aroma. Sort of sweet, green, and smoky. Someone mentioned that it was a lot to do with just the aging and the humidity as to why it has the smoky flavor. But I don't know. I think that there's something to say too about the way that these things are pan fried, and you know, I think sometimes the smoke that comes off of that pan frying has something to do with it as well. So this is the cold brew. As you can see, a lot of the color is still down here at the bottom, and so we're gonna just turn this over a little bit. Not going to agitate it too much. Definitely a golden brown color for sure. It's really pretty in the light. All right, let's get this poured up. So I've decided that I'm definitely going to get the Gulan cake from Farmer Leaf. I really like that Gulan cake, and it is a really new picking, not an aged Pu-erh at all. I don't think I'm going to be able to wait for the 2023, so I'll grab the 2022. And I'm definitely going to get one of the aged Pu-erhs from Yunnan sourcing. Definitely going to be the Xishuangbanna Purple varietal. Still not exactly sure which one though. Honestly, I really like the little squares. I think they were really good. This one is very, very, very aged. You can tell, 2022, no doubt. There is no bitterness at all. It does have just a little bit of sour notes that I don't particularly care for in these aged Pu-erhs. And I don't think it's overbrewed at all. Honestly, I did not have a scale when I did this, but I think I did okay. It's not bad. I just don't prefer the sour notes that's present in some of these. It's almost a citrus. Definitely citrus on the back end, but initially it is kind of just sort of a kind of sour thing going on. All right, so I'm gonna hit this with really hot water. Try to wake this up just a little bit. Agitate it just a bit to see if we can really wet those leaves. All right, and as always, I'm going to do the first infusion with really hot water and then step it down from there. Not getting a lot on the wet leaf yet, but that aged sort of smokiness is definitely still there. And so I think I'm going to, where's my lid? Ah, there it is. I'm going to let this one steep for some time, just because that cake is still fairly compact, and I want to try to get as much out of this as possible. And I'm looking at the color of the water too, and it's just now starting to change into a tinge of green. So agitate this a little bit. Let's see what we get. All right, I think that's good enough. Just gonna pour this out. So as you can see, quite a bit of material floating around in there, but it's fairly translucent, so not a lot of fuzzy stuff, but like I said, quite a bit of material. Very green. Very green, especially relative to the fact that this is a 2002. It still has some of that smokiness there that I like. Any sort of sour note or even citrus is it's not there. I imagine that's going to probably change as the cake opens up. So let's do this again, and again I'm going to use really hot water just until I get this thing really broken up. You can kind of see what the cake looks like there. It's really really still solid. The color on this, not the color, but the aroma is it's nice and and sort of sweet. You know, it's like I say, it's very green, but it's nice and sweet. All right, so the same thing, boiling hot water. Going to sort of agitate this a little bit and see how long my patience will hold up. See, the water is really starting to change color. It's very pretty with this light. And so that's got to be coming up on a minute, if not more than a minute. I don't really get much from the aroma there. Let's go ahead and pour this off. And this cake is still, I mean, it is solid. I'm starting to loosen just a bit, but it is still solid. And so, again, I imagine that that's going to have an effect on the brew as those leaves open. The middle of that cake is still fairly dry. So really pretty color. Not a lot of material this time around. And so that'll probably change too as the cake opens up a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so again, just sort of smoky. Again, sort of a green grass flavor. I like it for that reason, honestly. I really do. And I'm really shocked that, there's like not even a hint of any citrus or any sort of sour note. Okay. We got to get this cake opened up. Yeah. Same thing. Sort of smoky. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to time it. And I'm going to do something like a 3-minute steep. Because we got to get this cake to open up. And you can see when I'm agitating it, parts of the cake are starting to come apart. But it is still really solid. Does look nice. The color. What are we coming up on here? So it's just now getting to a minute. And, my thinking on this is that maybe this can be overbrewed, maybe not. Either way, we're going to find out. And I have a feeling, too, that the stronger this tea, the better. Just because it really allows you to show off what the age has done to this tea. It's really mellowed it out. It's teas like this that make me wonder what this cake was like, when it was first pressed. Whether or not it was like one of those super strong Raw Pu-erhs, or if it was just as mild as it is now. All right, it's coming up on 2 minutes, so I'm going to give it 1 more minute. And that cake is still solid, but I do see it starting to swell a bit. And so some of the water, I think, is getting into the middle of that cake, but it is taking its sweet time. It really is. I did think about, breaking this cake up before brewing, but I really like to kind of go through the layers of brewing with these solid pieces. It kind of starts off light, and then sometimes it can get deeper and darker, more complex. Sometimes a lot stronger. Just depends on the cake. Where are we at now? Okay, that is officially 3 minutes. All right, let's see what we get here. I think the color is noticeably darker, but can't say that it's much darker. I think there's a bit more activity in this one. See some of the little fuzzies in there. Definitely a lot more material. Has everything to do with the agitation of the tea, I'm sure. Nothing has changed about the aroma yet. And this cake is still pretty solid. I can start to tear away at some of the layers of the cake now, but it's still really solid. Yeah, that green brassiness is definitely there. All right, so yeah, it's more like a brass, almost copper color, kind of getting there to copper. Yeah, even 3 minutes boiling water. This tea is going to take some time to come about, but again, I do like it. It is very brassy and grassy, and smoky, but not too smoky. And I think I'm getting a hint of that citrus now. Very much on the back end, but it's definitely there. So all in all, and I have to say too, that I have been looking at the CNNP teas for quite some time. From my understanding, these are from a specific factory in China, one of the oldest that's been putting out, all sorts of products for quite some time. And, supposedly it's pretty good, I'm glad I'm getting a chance to try this one. Like I said, it is decent, but this particular tea does have some of that sour notes that I'm really just not a fan of when it comes to some of these Raw Pu-erhs. Whether or not that sour note is just the tea or if it is due to some of the aging, I don't know. Honestly, I think that it has a lot more to do with the tea itself than the aging, simply because I've had so many other Raw Pu-erhs that did not have that sort of sour citrus note going on. So, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely there. Like I said, it's not terrible. It's really not. My fear with these is that if I were to take this out in the heat of the day, that the tea will turn into like a sour mash, and then it's just done. After that, you're ready to throw it away. And I've found that that's not always the case. It doesn't always happen that way, but it's happened enough times that I've been traumatized, and so I don't want to risk it. Especially because there's other teas out there that I prefer, but this one is good. And so yeah, if you are looking for an aged Pu-erh, very mild, no bitterness, hint of citrus, a little on the sour side, and like I said, the hot brew is nice, grassy, sweet, smoky, then this is for you. For me to you.